Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I wish to thank the Honourable Member for the question. Honourable Speaker, sir, the eruption in Tonga was on Saturday, the 15th of January, 2022. And immediately after the eruption, sir, particularly the day after, on Sunday, the 23rd, we were inundated with a lot of calls, questions, queries as to how will Fiji respond to the disaster that has hit the Kingdom of Tonga. On Sunday, Sunday the 23rd as well, Honourable Speaker, sir, the Honourable Acting Prime Minister managed to speak to the Honourable Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Tonga, but unfortunately it was just only for a few seconds because of the disruption in communication in Tonga. But however, Mr. Speaker, sir, planning continued, particularly by the RFMF and of course in the Ministry of Rural and Maritime Development and Disaster Management Office as well, as to how we will respond. Following consultations, Mr. Speaker, sir, there were two components of the assistance to the Kingdom of Tonga. One, Mr. Speaker, sir, was the assistance through RFMF troops that were deployed. They were to deploy to Tonga through Australia, Mr. Speaker, sir. These troops left, 50 of them, left on the Saturday, the 29th, for Brisbane in Australia. The plan of the deployment, Mr. Speaker, sir, was similar to the one that we had very recently in the Solomon Islands, where we are embedded into the Australian contingent, and we would deploy together. And the planning was for the HMAS Adelaide to leave on Friday, the 28th, for the Kingdom of Tonga, and then later on for the troops to come across and marry up with the Australian component that are already in the ship. As we speak, Mr. Speaker, sir, the team, together with the Joint Task Force Command Element, are still in Australia, and what it has developed into is we still have the team in Sydney, in Brisbane, and of course no troops has set foot on Tonga for now, and we still have the French, the British, the Australians, the New Zealanders, Honourable Speaker, sir, and the French. The team are still consolidated, particularly the planning team, the headquarters team in Brisbane, which will probably something will look like an international component that will be deployed into Tonga once the approval from the Kingdom is received, Mr. Speaker, sir. As we speak, there are notes being exchanged with the Kingdom of Tonga authorities, Mr. Speaker, sir, and also the commander of the RFMF and General Campbell and their counterpart in Tonga, Lord Tui Lepa. He's the commander of the armed forces in the kingdom, on the details. So all this is awaiting the approval, Mr. Speaker, sir, and as I've stated, we will be part of the Australian component Fiji troops will be embedded into that component, and of course, we will deploy together. This is for obvious reasons, Mr. Speaker, sir. They are providing the strategic lift, they are providing the sustainment requirements, and of course, the equipment and other necessities for the deployment as well. The other component, Mr. Speaker, sir, was the deployment of relief supplies to the Kingdom of Tonga. I did mention, Mr. Speaker, sir, that there was limited communication with Tonga post the eruption on the 15th of January. NDMO Fiji was able to have contact with the Nemo Tonga, the National Emergency Management Office in Tonga, on Tuesday after the eruption. And Nemo Tonga was able to send us some of the critical items that they would need. And based on that, with Cabinet's approval, Mr. Speaker, sir, NDMO, together with Minister of Economy and Minister for Foreign Affairs, coordinated the response here in Fiji. What happened, Mr. Speaker, sir? There was an expression of interest put out so that all our stakeholders and agencies can indicate how can they assist according to the list that was put out as given to us by Nemo Tonga, Mr. Speaker. So let me highlight and acknowledge our partners that made the Tonga deployment possible. One is the New Zealand government, MFED, Mr. Speaker, sir, and they were also responsible, particularly for the bulk of the funding, particularly for the cost of the boat that was chartered. And we have UNICEF, UNFPA, the Tongan community in Fiji. We are indeed thankful to Mr. Kishone Topati and of course the Tahoros for arranging the Api Tonga community here in Fiji, and mostly the USP students who help us a lot with the manpower requirements. Swiss Shipping, Counter Shipping, World Central Kitchen, Office of the Prime Minister, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Economy, Minister of Health and Medical Services, Department of Information, the Republic of Fiji Military Forces, Fiji Immigration Department, Fiji Revenue and Customs Services, and Fiji Procurement Service. Mr. Speaker, sir, very briefly, after the expression of interest was closed, we started the packing of the items, and stakeholders that I've mentioned brought in their respective contributions, and we are thankful to the Fiji Sports Council for providing the Vodafone Arena car park for the logistics, particularly for the packing for Tonga. That saw 11 by 14 foot containers, 3 by the Api Tonga communities and the rest by the stakeholders. So 11 altogether, 40 food containers, Mr. Speaker, sir, that was deployed to Tonga. It was a 5 days deployment, 1.5 days sailing time for Tonga and return, and of course 2 days at the port in Nuku'alofa. It was a contactless deployment because of the COVID protocols. We took everything from here, we dumped it at the port in Nuku'alofa, sprayed the trucks, sprayed the goods, and then left it there, and then came back to Suva, Mr. Speaker. So that very briefly is the assistance involving the RFMF, and of course the supplies that were shipped across from Suva to Tonga, and again, I'm indeed thankful to all the stakeholders who made this possible.
I thank the Honourable Minister.